Yay, I've been waiting for this game for a while. Let's see. Alright, what's going on? Lumio? Mm-hmm. Suppose I should take my mouse off the screen, huh? Well, I'm English.
How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual beginning. So, let's expect an unusual end. Welcome to Biomutant.
Let's see. What do we got settings on? So it should come in really good. See what these controls are. Oh, we can use controller. Sweet, I thought I had to play it. I'll use the Xbox controller. I'm not that hardcore. Should I go medium or easy? I don't know. Go easy for now. I don't know.
Encode your DNA.
What?
Define your genetic structure.
That's funny. Make him a junkie. I don't know, am I gonna need melee damage or am I gonna need... What would the gun damage be? Would that be like critical? I don't know. Let's go in between here. Oh. That like lowers everything else. Go somewhere like that.
Choose a genetic resilience.
Oh, I have no idea. Random.
Choose your first style.
Let's see. I guess the Tree of Life's roots or something got poisoned and is killing the world instead, and you're on a mission to try to figure out how to save the world, I guess, from the trees like mutating animals and stuff. I don't know. I think we'll find out more once we actually get into the game.
Pick your main color.
My main color. Let's go blue. Light blue. There
Choose your detail color.
we go. Oh, we should have went blue on the other. Can I go back? Yeah, let's go.
Pick your main color.
Alright, my main color would be like purple. There.
Choose your detail color.
Light blue. There we go.
Pick a Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Choose your detail color.
Oh, okay.
Pick a Deadeye. Mercenary. Deadeye.
Yeah, I think guns might be the way to go.
Commando.
Oh, do they all use guns?
Psy-Freak.
Looks like a man user.
Saboteur. Sentinel. Psy-Freak. Command. Deadeye.
Deadeye.
Commando.
Commando.
Psyfreak. Command Deadeye. Deadeye chosen. That'll work.
That'll do, big. That'll do. Alright. Okay, so I can use my...
Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun.
I thought I had a gun. Do I not have? Oh, I do have a gun. Okay. Okay, so that must lock.
We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living.
Or simply stop living. What do you mean?
But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Let me introduce myself. I'm the light and bright side of you, or your inner voice to be precise, an echo of balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
Seems more like you're being light-headed, if you ask me, but you'll come around, eventually.
What? This is my...
But what comes around goes all the way back around. So, it's better to stick to your instincts. You can't fight what's in your nature.
In your nature, and here I was hoping we'd be all about natural selection, survival of the strongest, and so forth. If that's not instinct, then I don't know what is.
Natural selection is all about evolution and progress, and as soon as there's enough light, darkness will disappear.
Does that mean I have to go that way or that way? I guess I'll go.
Right is always right.
Right is always right. Yep. Yeah. What? I got a feeling there's going to be a jump scare. Don't scare me. Okay.
Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others.
Meat eaters meat.
Do you remember the beast that shattered your family? Or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The Predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the Tree of Life started to die. The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways.
Since I have full range, this is my ranged weapon. This is a pretty game. You need to break the shield to attack before you can deal damage defeating That just goes vitality and strength probably, right?
Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight.
A clawbar? I thought that was a crowbar. Am I supposed to equip it or something?
That pipe looks weak. The clawbar should come in handy.
How do I equip it? Oh, it just automatically equips. I see.
Whoa!
Whoa.
It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. You can make something from that. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind.
Found a puzzle. I figured that was going to happen. If I picked strength and vitality, I wasn't going to have any of this other stuff, and now I need it. Okay.
Just a few moves left. Make them count.
What do you mean? What am I supposed to do? Oh, there we go.
There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours.
I'm gonna have to take.
The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. Lockety-locked. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. There you go, there you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. Handy. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. How Lupa Lupin somehow left you alive after his raid on the old village. He must have had a purpose with that. The question is, what? There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land. The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is ever so close. He also worries about the Jagni tribe that's actively working for a doomsday and purging of the world. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here fueling its source of life. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source of ki. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding. You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's ki energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually grow into a tree of life and start giving back to nature. It'll be the heart of the land. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy. You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the Pensai tree. Oh, it'll need a continuous flux of ki over the 12 months to come, so countless, he'd say. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree. Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the Pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village's sake, but for all of us, everyone. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us. You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and unless something changes, we're doomed. The land won't survive the side effects of the old world's industrial advances. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night on the Lupin camp with her disciples. Wonders if they let the Predator family live or not. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived. The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse that Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land set the World Eater's DNA into overdrive. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merkpuff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route.
Yeah, that is a big map.
Nocco has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Googlide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. His friends have prepared something specific for each World Eater. The Mekton, the Octopod, the Majute, and the Googlide are almost ready to ride. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters.
What am I supposed to do?
You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb.
God, it's pretty. I don't know if you can tell.
Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see.
What, did he just take a leak on the pole? What? Signposts are found near locations of interest all around the world. You'll unlock a signpost when interacting with it. You can fast travel to signposts you have unlocked by selecting it on the map. To open the map, press that. Okay. And they say the monster was here. Yeah. It's a big map if we're only right here at the moment.
must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time.
On the ninth floor? Yeah. There. Is that better? Can you hear me now?
That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake.
Sweet.
Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here.
Few are those who always act the same manner. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Nice, I get some kind of secret powers.
Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
That's a
Namaste.
spark of light in you!
I like
What's
that.
there to like about light? It hurts to look at.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
Paimon. You've gained a psi point. Use it to unlock powers in the mutations menu. Powers are locked by the aura score, meaning that your psi points can only unlock powers of the same color as your current aura or without the color. Boop, boop.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important. Out of Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby. The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of honor. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world, and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part. Myriad is convinced that defeating the World Eaters is the only way the world can be saved, but they've been forced to focus on their rivalry with the Jagni tribe. Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters.
Your current and started quests are shown in the journal. You can change which quest you track by opening up the journal and selecting another task. Defeat all 4 World Eaters. That's my quest.
Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be?
I don't know which one goes where. I don't want to go to that other side. Let's go to the right.
It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded.
It is a very pretty game, man. Oh, am I supposed to kill these guys or no? Get out of here. There, I saved you. Can I join? No? Alright. Sorry if I'm just like... I'm just trying to look around.
This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone.
What do you mean?
That's the Myriad tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know.
That way you'll know. Let's pee on this really quick.
Let's see.
Yeah, he's literally peeing on it.
beaten path to that door.
I
If
don't
you
know.
go there,
Maybe
you'd
she's
better make an
sleeping?
entrance.
I don't know.
Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. They've already got word of an intruder, so he guesses the Sifu must be very interested in meeting you.
Sleepy?
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you.
A vigilante.
He heard you took out-of-date side against the scavengers in Bunker 101. It seems you believe in helping your next, and that's something you have in common. He's convinced you've returned for a
It's
reason,
on
and
Steam.
is glad you chose to
It's
come
called
here.
Biomutant.
There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples. Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it consisted of unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land, and there are rivals in all directions. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing
right.
a code of honor. If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. You'll unite the tribes and defeat the World Eaters to save the Tree of Life. He was hoping you'd join them. You understand that there's no harm in doing good to others. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should coerce first is the Jagni tribe. The Jagni tribe may believe that fear and hatred will lead them to domination. A vanquisition of the tribes and destruction of the Tree of Life won't be the restart they want. It's just an end to everything. Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war. They might bring them war, but they'll never take away their inner peace. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of.
Oh, what? We have to, like, fight an entire war?
He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war that bonds as much as it breaks. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon. Once you've dealt with the rival's outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let your kin share land again.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, he's definitely a good actor. Share land.
They passed the point of no return as their words lost power and see no other way forward than using violence to combat violence. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor.
Did you look it
He
up?
remembers your kind and unselfish soul and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good. Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can sometimes come to life. Passing the old
Sounds
village
like
on your way
the
to the
guy
first
that
rival
plays
outpost
on
might help.
Downton Abbey. The guy, like the main guy that lives in the manor. That's who it sounds like to me. I don't know if it's him or not, but I don't know what his name is.
Even though it's now a different place from a different time, it is a place that'll make you remember.
I think I need to. No, it's not that. Oh, I'm super pretty, huh? That's funny. Can't use any of those. I might want that. So if my life starts going down, it can like auto help me. Is it this one? Because it's talking about sight points, so psi powers. So should I go fire or ice? What's that?
Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially. Deformed and unfurled.
Oh, what? Get out of there.
You can take even more now. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer.
Yeah, it's because I have to pee on that sign. Beep, 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 beep.
Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind.
What,
Here's
yes, dog
someone
feet.
who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Then he wants you to know that if you find yourself going through bad times, you should just keep going. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. Learning to swim can be scary when you don't know what you're doing. But fortunately, he's here to give you a helping hand. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. And he'll be honored.
What? You can swim in most waters while in very deep water you slowly lose ki and you run out of energy and you'll drown. Oh, I drowned. Guess we'll try this again.
He says, that wasn't too bad, was it? At least you learned that you'll drown if you don't swim. But you need practice. Lots of practice. Great things usually happen to those who never stop trying. He hopes you'll be one of them. You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim. You can never try too hard. Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. You know you can't make up for lost time. You should know, practice makes perfect. You have to keep working on it if you want to be good at it. She'll see you at the village square. She says that's good. With a passion for learning, you'll never cease to grow. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. Being nice comes easy for him. That doesn't make it less important. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. He thinks you're truly a kidling of your environment. You should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take you too long to find some. He wonders what usefulness you found. He says every little thing counts. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. He says only a few are willing to do the little things, but if you make enough of them, they can have a big impact too. He'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you found would be a good start. You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He believes being considerate will help you feel at peace with yourself. Gizmo doesn't mind sharing. What's his is yours, and what's yours is his. He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see. Then you've got a good excuse. You share a responsibility to prevent hardship on nature and the environment. It's your future.
Turi kumbalamuma.
She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself.
Masamal urasa turut.
That's all she's ever asked of you, that you'll try and give it your best. You can't do more than that.
Kanamunta anora kapapom.
You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs...
Andro tukonda. Do malek tuk.
Then start by meeting her on the village square and take it from there. She knows you're a free spirit, always on the move, like the wind.
How does she know?
They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and... That makes him wonder why you were here looking for it. There's no way they'll let you pass. He says you're right. Nobody can tell him what he can and can't do, and that includes you.
Berry.
She asks if you're hurt. What happened?
Berry.
She says it's nice of you to consider them, but they have weapon training at sunrise tomorrow, so they'll need all the rest they can get.
Apli tonumuta.
The most important thing is that you're okay.
Kala.
It's time to focus on your training now.
Asil natu. Andro.
You won't need excuses if you are strong in your conviction. Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know how you're feeling. He heard you helped Gizmo clean up. He's proud of you. He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training. He wishes that was true for your Muma too, but guiding the village into the future and teaching Wang Fu to her disciples seems more important for every day. He suggests you get going and find him gadgets and ideas for how you can upcycle some old fabrics.
I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back.
He's curious to see what you've found. He's all for renewal and has even considered making the trip out into the wilds to look for a bionuclear spool and refresh his DNA. He can work wonders with pretty much anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. Thinks some are and some aren't. One thing's for sure, though, your Muma thinks it all takes up too much space in the house. He says it's about time you learned how, and offers to teach you, starting with the scrap you found.
Gear crafting. Oh, I see. Seen an 8 in there. I think 8's the highest I can go.
The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you. He knows she's already proud of you and everything you've achieved so far. You should take it with you, wear it to practice. He thinks you should. She'll be proud of you. He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this.
What is happening? Oh, there we go. I was like, what?
Asil natu
Your Muma says it's about time you got here.
anson para. Andro?
Wants you to understand that you can do anything if you work really hard.
Ritsentende. Kalino?
But there's enough time left for repetition, and you need it. Training dummies don't hit back.
Andro?
That's a good attitude as long as you keep learning.
Kumbala Muma.
Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Inga Valdo.
Thanks you for being such a good student.
Pial tu ma anora kapapom.
Been working on a present for you, with the help of Gizmo and Wiz.
Moni basa. Bola kamun rutna.
You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it.
Brumble na marsamon.
Says he's always thought so well of you, just like her. Catchy.
Can't see.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. It's wonderful.
Amun.
She's happy you appreciate what others do for you.
Kalino. Antoro.
A piece of Scraptronics like this has built-in old-world tech that makes it a potent communication device.
Kototuku.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see whatever you see.
Kanamunta.
You're lucky to have such a fine helper with you.
Masamal.
Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day.
Kanamunt.
She's so happy you made the most of it. Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Luca Lupin from setting the world on fire. Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it.
Arialope mumera.
You're...
Nalagimamuro. Kanyala motoro.
There's nowhere to run to this time. The time has come to stand and fight.
Beri. Kalino. Taifanana numa.
Whatever happens, you need to know she loves you. And everything she's done has been to protect you, your Popsy, and those she was chosen to lead.
Verena masalapu.
She tells you to stay back. This is her fight. It has nothing to do with you. History has finally caught up with her.
Dumaleku. Sticky muka.
She loves how brave you are, but she can't be worrying about you while she fights. This is her fight. Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be
What?
feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity, when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on.
Wow, that story's pretty rough from the start. Oh, I can now craft weapons. That's what I was literally trying to do. It says nothing, nothing, nothing. Modify? Nothing, nothing, nothing.
Step back, world. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose. You gave them no choice but to take it down, even though they'd planned to take the Fluff Hulk out to the Farfnaki Leaves and let it go. They've received news a Ronin had strengthened their ranks and were looking forward to meeting you. A group of myriad crusaders already headed out to Jagni's Mercadorpus outpost and are waiting for you there. You should hurry there and help them best the outpost. You complete them. From this point on, the Myriad is unbroken. An emergency box from the old days, when you... Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? One at a time. That notice board? Filled with the leftovers of used-to-be once. You're getting close to one of those old Toxanol brick towns. Pay attention. The Toxanol Corporation made this place, and then just threw it away when they were done with it. Toxanol never cared about the waste, as long as they didn't have to pay to clean it up. There must be a track somewhere in this brick town. Just hope it's not buried. You found the whereabouts, the deepest, darkest forest in the land. Sometimes hard to see for all the trees. Imagine being stuck in the woods forever. Bullets everywhere. That's a Jagni tribe outpost.
Trying to figure out if I need to go this way.
Looks good.
Where I got all kinds of stuff.
It only gets weirder from here. It's okay to smile at the growing light. That's just awful. Watch your step around here.
Oh, I thought I was supposed to like unlock it or something.
Now that's loot.
Yeah. Make sure to pee on this line.
Let's see.
All right.
Says it's time to set the outpost free. Inflict as little damage as possible as you make your way through. Freedom is not worth having in a world that's doomed. Here's the first line of defense. a bomb lobber.
And what am I supposed to do? Hitting an enemy with special attacks. Why can't I do this puzzle? Destroy the boom hut. But how?
And it was spotted, wrecked it.
Oh. Get wrecked. Ah, come on.
That twirly wheel works that drain pipe.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to get.
Spin the twirly wheel and open that drain. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Everything's clocking together.
I have to swim. I don't have much stamina.
Could be this key. Keep going. That cage is holding a helper.
Okay.
They never lost hope you'd come, but weren't sure if they'd last long enough to see it. So won't hesitate to carve. A sharpshooter. The scaffolding looks unstable. Here's the second line of defense.
The heck is that thing?
Better stay clear of the red ray. Timber. Bet a big bump will bring it down. Switched off the light. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it. Then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks splody. Shoot it and watch it blow. Not too close, though. It's complicated. Give it another try. Boom. You're in. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger.
Yeah, I slept, man. I slept pretty much all day, so I pretty much just woke up. So I'm kind of like on your schedule now, I think. I was like, I might as well be on the schedule that people who watch me are on, right? It seems like the logical thing to do. Each tribe has its own tribal weapon. If you defeat a tribe, something blah blah. Wear it with pride.
Figures the honor belongs to the tribe, too. Outerdate says he's doing his best to keep up, but from what he can tell, it seems you're making progress with the tribe conflict.
Yeah, move forward, boom.
He had a feeling you'd get along with the Myriad tribe, but it remains to be seen what the future holds for your alliance. You seem to share the same values as the Myriad tribe. You both have the same optimistic outlook on life. At least, for now.
Koye bun. Tuvun bunun. Yeah, move for bro. Boom.
But Out of Date emphasizes that solving the tribe conflict won't matter unless you help make a stand against the World Eaters. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date's forebodings are justified. The Jumbo Puff needs to be taken care of.
The Jumbo
Alu
Puff.
utulua le yayato.
He says the time has come to confront the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route.
Le yayato.
Gizmo is working on making his Mekton strong enough to endure the oxygen-deprived dead zone all the way out to the World Eater.
Yeah, so what up, Mua?
You should get over there and see what you can do to help.
Only one of those. One of those. And the green one's the... or the blue one. We'll go green. Blue will be next. Oops. Alright. Where am I supposed to go? No. Jeez. All
Feels
that.
like something's about to happen today.
Yeah, like what? Supposedly there's supposed to be like a shop or something that... But... Are these the shops? Doesn't look like they're set up yet.
That's a Gnote. Easy prey for Lupa Lupin. For everyone else, they're a perfect mount and easily tamed if they are kept fed.
So what am I supposed to do? Oh. How do I climb under? Oh, like that. You can move and shoot while mounted. The mount will stay where you left it when you dismount.
That's a resource totem. A monument left behind by those that picked scrap, trying to keep the area clean. That's a resource totem. A monument left behind by those that picked scrap, trying to keep the area clean.
Okay.
Fate is funny that way, but it won't always make you laugh. Wood scrap. The one kind of scrap you could actually still find growing.
Wow. Well, I don't think we should jump. Let's go back down.
Nice. Some barked wood scrap for you. It's the chug yard.
Am I supposed to like break down the wall or something? Oh, guess not. How do I get in there then?
Seems like your mount likes you well enough. The board mainly has posts from those that used to work at the chug yard back in the days gone. They don't make much sense these days. Not much more to say about the board, but Gizmo is holed up in the underyard here working on that Mekton of his. The Toxanol Corporation used to run chugger-chuggers out of here, big machines on rails with smokestacks that fouled the air. They can carry you anywhere you like. Well, anywhere that they go to, and then you can leg it from there. You're on the right track. Keep your eyes open. to go around, but they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around with sprockets. The best stories are about heroes. This is such a story. Bomper Bonker's busy ram-banging the door. This is your chance. Let's see.
Or chance to what?
Don't flinch away from this. It's your moment. You need to focus. Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down. Let's see. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. I need to brush up on my one... Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hands when he taught you how to upcycle. Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your good heart. But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal. It carries so much hate, and its insatiable hunger has only increased over the years since it claimed revenge on your parents. Gizmo says he also has re-memories from the long gone, but unlike you, he doesn't think of the past, for it's gone. He understands history made Lupa Lupin a big part of your past, your present, and soon, your future. You still believe there's some good in everyone. You still have hope for tomorrow. He says you should know that what's meant to be will... Gizmo encourages that. You should forgive, but never forget. It'll provide some comfort to your soul and keep the memory of lost loved ones in your heart.
Fan that flame!
Wait, no! Bright light blinds! It's dangerous!
I've got all the cold sick burns you need, Dark.
Oh, do you have to insult me over this?
I don't have to, but I want to.
Would like to know if you ever doubt the Supposes that's all any of us can do. Hard to believe the world is actually going to survive. Just seemed impossible till now. Grateful to you for coming back and doing your best to change things. You were the only chance they had. Wonders if you liked working with the Myriad. They always seemed so centered and so seeking. Figures everyone does. They seem unusually dedicated to finding them. But that's not important now. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here is up to you. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Underyard as he has no protection against the vacuum in the dead zone. So you need to salvage scrap to upcycle the Mekton, starting with the old crate outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want... That's what...
Oh, that thing's kind of cute. What is that? It's like a little fox. I want one.
You can't really understand your story till it's done. There's short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes, half lives. That's the leftover you're looking for.
Oh, I died. No. No.
Could be danger around any corner down here. Balance is the key.
So what am I supposed to do to unlock that?
What's your choice? Dying?
Oh.
The spent nuclear fuel that Toxanol dumped in the surf had detrimental effects on the marine habitats, while the overflowing landfills contaminated the groundwater. Combined, this sent their world hurtling on an inevitable road to ruin.
Oh, what is he building, a mech?
He says that's enough to get the Mekton functional. You'll have... He made a suction device, so the Mekton can use the black tar as an instant refuel. You can also use it to clear oily goo puddles, so you can pass and access hard-to-get-to areas. He's been working on another project for the Mekton, a cannon, but it needs ammunition, and by that he means the scripts. He says if they're trained right, they'll turn into a distraction for the Jumbo Puff. The best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog. He knows the ins and outs of every breathing thing left alive after the apocalypse. Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead zone than Moog's camp on the Steep Depot. Once you find Moog, he'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find Scripps. He noticed the Jumbo Puff has a short attention span, so the Scripps should distract it long enough for you to inflict some damage. You made it through another long night. The Grease Monkey's Mekton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the Dead Zone. In the old world, roads like this really led somewhere. Now, most of them lead to disaster. That over there is Steepo Depot, the cliffside that Moog hangs on to.
Immo. Diava.
Let's see.
It's like, I don't know, does it auto-save? So I should definitely, no, it doesn't, okay. It's like, I should definitely save my game.
This one's impressed to see you out here. Says a monster hunter hears many things on the wind. Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes. Choosing what to kill and what to spare are the most important decisions you'll make. You might have a steady aim, but you need to be sure that you pick your targets with care. It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves, and you know they'll miss. Claims he mostly kills whoever he doesn't like. Says it's wild that the world seems to be coming back, but he supposes that means more monsters for him to shoot. Wonders why you work so hard to keep things alive. Bullets help thin the herd instead. Says you should give up on working with the stubborn Myriad. He keeps trying. He's afraid you're just as stubborn as them. But enough of that, right? He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed. He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed, who knows what it's done with the chemical composition of their body output. Right now, though, he feels he's come to... Thinks that it all hangs on the Tree of Life. When it started to fail, everything changed. Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself a monster hunter. Fortunately for you, he can help. He understands you need to start off with something small before you go big. Thinks you have bigger issues than your so-called haunting skills if you're going to nitpick on his grammar.
Oh, is that something I would have got if I answered his questions differently or something?
Keep filling your air holes. Just point it in the right direction. Wait, it's the Scrip Hola. Place is just filled with critters. You're bruised. Crackadoo. Looks good. Take matters back into your own hands.
sure how I'm supposed to do that.
Oh, idea. Go knock the lid off that sludge truck. It'll fill the place up and you can get up to that entrance there. Nothing like a story with an unexpected ending.
Oh.
That's the good stuff. Doesn't look like a happy critter. Ready to begin blasting?
I got one. It's my pet now. It's mine? Am I supposed to be upstairs or something?
Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Quick work for a shiny blade. Hope you grabbed a big breath. Someone locked it solid.
If I shoot it, it'll open, right?
You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Things are happening. It's not just anyone that's awake and moving. He says that's enough scripts to sustain the Mekton's claw crane cannon with infinite ammunition. Well done. It's not his cleanest invention so far, but it gets the job done. Use it to suck up gooey oil puddles in the Mekton's way so you can pass. Gizmo's made vehicles before to confront the Jumbo Puff himself, but failed. But this time, it's different. The Mekton will be strong enough to do the job. It's time to put a stop to the World Eater now. Otherwise, he fears the damage it's caused to the tree already will be too much to handle. He asked. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Has plenty. Keep on walking. The day is getting on. Imagine that. You could just go to a place like this to get a proper meal back in the old world. made the kill.
I'm about to go fight Jigglypuff.
Dented that one good. Right between the eyes. Your enemies will flee before you. Hoo hoo. %50 done. Shot through. Hope you enjoy the rain. toughened up. Dan did that.
Hmm.
Nothing. Is going to waste. Took care of it. Got that. Life looks different from a cockpit. Don't trip over what you can't see. Vickled up your vitals.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
That's a jumbo puff with an appetite. Ain't no fuzz. Better put an end to it before it ends our world. Uh-oh. The jumbo puff is kicking it up a notch. It's time for an electric performance. Bad feeling about this. It goes all the way down to the stomach. Start like a snack. You'll end up with a ride down the intestinal canal. That's too close to the end station. Better move up and away, or be swept out the bowel way.
What?
Wow, what a super-sized whirlwind. That must be as big as they come. You see, it's what's on the inside that counts. That meaty Taurus is already offbeat. End it. You know what to do. Who would have guessed it would go down with a throw-up? Can it really get any better than that?
Yeah.
He thanks you for dealing with the first World Eater. It's a start. You should go see Out of Date and find out what you can about the machine he's named the Ark. You're good-hearted enough, so you'll have no problem getting him to share the information with you. He trusts
Going on,
you
Halo?
know where to find
How
Out
are you?
of Date by now. He's always been at the foot of the tree, and that hasn't changed. Gizmo will always make time for you.
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, wow! Nice shot. The forest is wonderful. Been taking your vitamins?
So what are you doing, man?
This is called suburbia, a place to get away from the city stink. This could be the beginning of the end of everything. Yerp Fields, where the echo of your actions resounds clearer than any other place you'll find. Except for where that's not true. That's an Aurora totem. Legend has it that activating the four of them together will form a band of your aura in the sky. Small things for your big ideas. There it is, the Tree of Life. The idea that all life is related by common descent, where the twigs are existing species and those produced in the past represent the succession of the extinct. The tree's great branches were once budding twigs, a connection between the past, present, and future. A representation of all extinct and living species with its ever-branching and beautiful ramifications. We are an evolution of those that came before.
How do I get down there?
This one is Bang Shelter 8F. Wonder how long they held out here.
What was that? I just fell through the map and died. What? You ugly man. You ugly.
Always good to have some wood scrap like that on hand. Watch out for drop-offs. They can surprise you down here. It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above. Out of Date's impressed you made it this far, but there's still so much left to do. The end of the world is still on everyone's minds. You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. Question is, what you'll do with that responsibility. He can sense that your heart beats steadily and acknowledges that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. Someone without knowledge of their history and origin is like a tree without roots. Out of Date. Think of the present because that's where you are. It's time to set your priorities as the one who completes things.
Setuata Bob Kila.
If you continue to do good, good will follow you.
Koyevun. Tuvun bunun. To Hawaii.
If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run. So, he's prepared for the worst. Something he calls the Ark.
Far koben mako to far titaba. Weta gono.
He hopes you're right. He gets that you mean the journey continues either way, but personally he wants the tree to survive.
To lua lu to luka.
Out of Date says there's no clear record of the chain of events that changed the course of history and brought the world to its knees.
Weta gono. Lua tolu tum.
He's found evidence on the Ark, records of a crisis, decades of contamination that permeated the ground and broke its inner core.
Nuekek ushbar no barke.
The contamination disrupted what we now know as Ki energy, the life force that runs through all things, living and inanimate.
Ya, sawata mua oluwoya lo yalu batuluyu.
He's been told the blight affected everything at a genetic level and turned our perception of normality on its head.
Pai katawa fofo bakwa papamu.
It was only those that changed that avoided extinction, proving that the possibility for survival and renewal was real.
Kuchai hifar befar ulua ba volua.
He understands you are curious about the ship at the foot of the tree. He says it surfaced when the oil broke through the ground.
Tulua ba volua.
The Ark predates the back-in days, and now, after years of study of the manuals he found inside, he believes he's figured the ship out.
Fabobe muk kofar.
The Ark has room for 4 more, and he trusts you'll apply wisdom to your compassion and choose whom to save if the world comes to end.
Ugambun ang ugagan yepromo vuf farfarifto tuka kubu.
He'll keep the seats open, and you are free to invite up to 4 others to join you in the Ark in the event of a cataclysm.
Farfarifto tuka kubu. Ugambun ang ugagan yepromo vuf.
Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy.
Auketo tul atu iamanau.
He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Goop in the southeast.
Ayamu aya. Ewe bobuye.
Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Goop.
Loma toaha to lua lu to luka.
He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Goop and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That's the sound of impending doom. Out of Date's premonitions of imminent disaster are true. The Porkypuff needs to be handled.
Koibe o korfabe.
Out of Date says that Goop is worried now that the Southeast World Eater is stepping up its activity.
To Hawaii. Olomawawanya. Ye mufurbu. Bum.
He explains that Goop is working on a goo-gliding vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done.
Iboda kilmok. Koibe o korfabe.
Out of Date suggests that you should head southeast as fast as possible and see what you can do to help.
Ku bubuye bu.
He wonders what's on your mind.
Auketo tul atu. Iamanau.
See,
Alright, I think I'm gonna call it here for today. We'll pick back up on it in part 2. Have a good one, guys.